Let me tell you, this album is so punishing. I didn't even remember there's a bong rip on that song until...
Is it a literal bong rip?
Yeah.
Welcome to Every Album Ever with Mike and Alex. My name is Michael Mansour. I'm joined, as always, by my optimistic co-host, Alexander Volt. Say hello.
Hello.
This is Every Album Ever, the podcast where we listen to every single album in the world, one artist at a time. That's a whole new discography per episode, and today we'll be discussing every EP by
Burning Witch.
Burning Witch. This is an Alex pick.
Yes. We had to do some finagling in the schedule.
I'll be leaving the country shortly, and I would like to have something easy to edit and ready to go for when I'm gone.
And we thought about doing a popular band, but we're like, you know what? The people who come here are weirdos. I think you guys would appreciate a weirdo band more than a band that's been talked about to death.
As an unpopular podcast, I think it's only fitting that we cover unpopular bands. So that we're covering one of the most, I would say, one of the nichest metal bands we've ever covered. One of the most abrasive and unpleasant metal bands we've ever covered. This is for like 2% of the population of metal lovers. Sometimes
I'm like, I don't got that darkness in me, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I have been casually listening to this album for maybe a decade, if not longer.
Casually listening to this thing is something psychotic. For one, it's not even an album; it's a compilation of EPs and
a single
and like two singles.
Yeah,
and like split tracks from split EPs. But it's when I listened to it, it was very clearly a compilation to me because of how absolutely devastating it is to sit through listen to in one sitting.
No, you do disc 1, disc 2.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
I first listened, I did marathon the whole thing. Ooh. And I enjoyed the hell out of it. I enjoyed good. Love it. But it was taking a serious toll. By the end of it, I was not enjoying things because of like, what different? There's no difference. They're doing the same fucking thing. They do have the one mode.
Well, first of all, this is if you could pull up the members for me, fucking Stephen O'Malley and Greg Anderson band.
At least at first, Greg Anderson, he's gone pretty quickly.
Yeah. So, and if you aren't familiar with those names, these gentlemen did Sun or Sunno, whatever you want to call them. So they're real good at doing the one thing.
Really, really, really slow doom metal with a lot of sludge and a lot of droniness.
Yes. Also, I should have had this in my notes. One of them, or both of them, also created one of my favorite labels, Southern Lord.
That's right.
We've only done the most popular Southern Lord release. I would like to do more.
What was that, Probot?
Probot?
Yeah.
Which was fucking awesome.
Delightful.
Dave Grohl picked Southern Lord to put them out. Although I did kind of do this in or reverse because they had a band before, but.
Oh yes, Thor's Hammer, right?
Yes. I got whatever. It doesn't matter. This is a fucking cool band. Yeah. Also accidentally stumbled into continuing our Steve Albini adventures.
Indeed. It wasn't until I hit play that I realized there's some Albini on here. I wasn't expecting that for a band like this.
I never knew until we said, let's do this, man.
I think it's a damn shame he doesn't record more extreme metal bands because really the rawness of that drum sound of the Albini drums, whatever, coupled with something this hard hitting, it really, I mean, because it's a compilation, he only produced the first EP. So you hear how bad the second EP sounds compared to it. It's not even like, it sounds great, but compared to that fucking kick, compared to that live right next to you in the room sound of the first one, it's like, oh yeah, this is obviously not him anymore.
Yeah.
But Yeah, we have some notes here from our boy Tom Osman, who's also a fan.
Yes, and his notes are exceptional. Not that they're ever bad, but exceptionally awesome this week.
He fell into a little bit of a rabbit hole because the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon of this band is pretty fucking wild.
Yeah.
How someone, because you could probably do that game with like any band that we've covered and you'd be like, oh shit, that's a lot of connections.
Dude,
but you never guess it with this kind of band.
Well, yeah, I mean, we did Silkworm recently, and one of those guys went on to play
with Sun O. Exactly.
So
there's already one. There's already one weird connection. Silkworm does not sound like this band.
Not at all. So yeah, I think that's another reason I like, Southern Lord and Steven and Greg is like, they're not household names, but they figure out how to like kind of creep into heavy metal and are associated with these random people.
They found a way to make their own little stamp on the metal scene.
Also, quick story. One time I was picking up tickets at Will Call, and I was standing next to a guy, and they're like, what name is it under? He's like, Greg Anderson. And I'm like, no way, it's the same one.
It's a very popular name, very common name.
And I looked over and I was like, oh, fuck.
God damn. What show was it?
That was a Lamb of God show.
Okay. That'd be pretty fucking wacky if it was like Sparks or something.
Oh,
that'd be great though.
No, that's a more fun story, but yeah.
Nice. How far back do you go with this band?
I think when I was like getting into this sludge and doom stuff, I stumbled upon this and I owned the CD. So yeah, I haven't listened to it in a bit, but it was nice to come back to this.
It is absolutely crushing. Yeah, I mean, god damn, I can't think of any. So the only people that I could ever possibly recommend this to are you and Tom, and you guys are already fans. I don't know anybody who this will work for.
Well, I don't even know. Like, we've done Emperor, but that's a different kind of metal.
Yeah, of course.
I guess I don't.
It's almost like how I am with Necrophagist.
Yeah,
where it's like, I love the shit out of it, but I don't know anybody else who loves. I mean, other than like our boy Hawk.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that kind of band where it's that extreme. It's just a different kind of extreme. It's more doom and sludge, but it's just so extreme. It's fucking delightful. If you want to murder someone, you're gonna feel great here.
Yes, like you said, another barrier to get past is like how you are with like 30-second punk songs. That's how I feel with like really heavy sludge and doom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care that we're essentially listening to the same song start to finish.
Basically. Yeah.
It just resonates with something in my soul.
You really do feel it. And this band does have it, because you hear a lot of whatever sludge or doom stuff. And I guess if you're not into it, it all sounds the same anyway. But these guys have a definite personality. Vocals by fucking Edgy 59 are very, very distinct, and I think they fit perfectly. And it's also not the type of vocals you would expect from a band this slow and sludgy.
Not at all. And even when they do I use clean loosely, but
fairly clean, like singing straight.
Yeah, the more understandable vocals. That's not really what you would expect either.
Not at all. That is some stoner rock shit, and it's with this not stoner rock band.
It's also wild that they were doing this in the mid 90s, where I feel like this style of music is a little more popular now, but yeah, I think even like, I don't even think Neurosis was doing music like this in the...
weren't they? I believe they were. They were. Yeah, they were like probably the main ones.
Yeah.
Them and Melvins, I guess. But Melvins were obviously their own thing. And by this point, in the 90s, they were not even close to this.
Yeah, this is like if someone listened to Lysol and they were like,
Too short. Let's make it longer. Let's make that intro longer.
Too short. That's for pussies.
Yeah.
We can do better.
Then they played it even slower and louder,
meaner, and just nasty.
Way more evil, way more just absolutely devastating. So, according to the wiki, they formed directly after the death of Thor's hammer in '95 by, of course, Stephen O'Malley and Greg Anderson and Jamie Sykes in early '95 in Seattle, or on Capitol Hill, Seattle. And then they later added G. Stuart Dahlquist and vocalist Edgy59, whose name I will remember in about 3 seconds. Edgemont Martin. Honestly, I think I like his real name more. It's way fucking understated and like sophisticated, which you would never expect from any kind of extreme metal band.
Also, I don't know, that kind of fits the I feel like it does kind of fit the aesthetic of the band.
The artwork and
yeah,
that's like, yeah, because the some of art kind of shares stuff from black metal that we'll talk about in more detail as it comes up. But Anderson left like immediately. He left before the first record, so he helped form it, but really wasn't a part of it. But Tom here noted that, of course, the 6 degrees of separation, and it is. Strap in, okay, because it's fucking ridiculous. So this is Tom. He says, for example, before Burning Witch, O'Malley was in Thor's Hammer with Runhild. Oh my God, how do you pronounce that name?
Oh, she is a Norwegian foreign exchange student.
I can tell by the A and the E being combined into one letter. Gammelsight. I feel like you have to turn into some sort of lizard when you
like a Klingon.
Yeah. Runhild. I'll just say her first name. Yeah. Who was in Klist? Is that who? I never heard them.
I haven't heard of them either.
With James Plotkin, who was also in Old Lady Drivers, with Jason Everman, who was in Nirvana, with Dave Grohl, who was in Foo Fighters, with Nate Mendel, who was in Sunny Day Real Estate, which we just covered a couple of weeks ago. Burning Witch to Sunny Day Real Estate in 6 steps. Look at that.
There you go.
So he goes into more detail. Like, these are all the bands associated. Okay.
Also, not to one up Tom, but I don't know if Anderson and Grohl had direct contact, but you could just do Probot was on Southern Lord.
Oh, that's right.
Nate.
That's true. Yeah.
Sunnydale.
That cuts it from 6 to 2.
Yeah.
Or 3. Yeah. Something like that.
I like Tom has more lore though.
A lot of lore. So he literally separated it into tiers of degrees, which I find delightful. First, these are direct 1-to-1. Thor's Hammer, Kanate, Sun O, of course, Goat Snake, obviously, Engine Kid, obviously, Lotus Eaters, Love's Holiday Orchestra. Then 1 degree away.
2.
I suppose, yeah, 2. Klist, Isis, check out that episode. Nah, Oxbow, hell yeah. Godflesh, Napalm Death, Ice, God, check out that episode. The Body Lovers, 3 degrees away. Swans, check out those 2 episodes at this point. Angels of Light, Old, 4 degrees away. Mind Funk, Nirvana, Soundgarden, check out both those episodes. 5 degrees away. Celtic Frost, check out that episode. Ministry, Temple of the Dog, that one as well. Audioslave, that one as well. Foo Fighters, 6 degrees. Pearl Jam, Rage Against the Machine, check out that episode. And Sunny Day Real Estate. And of course, Silkworm too, if you're fucking
We have been busy, boys.
We've covered a lot of fucking bands. Jesus H. But we're here with Burning Witch, and we're finally ready to start this very brief, but still a lengthy, punishing album of a discography. Compilation is called Crippled Lucifer, which came out. There's many versions. The version we're covering came out in 2000, which confuses me because of one of the releases on here came out after that, so I don't know how it works. But it had a few different reissues. The first version of it came out in 98, but it didn't have as many tracks on it. This version is the one you'll find streaming, and it has everything.
The most complete with a fucking asterisk on the second EP that really bothers me. And we'll get to it, but I don't know why it's this way. And it really bothers me. But anyway, the first EP came out in 1998. Last release was a split with Asva, which came out in 2004. I believe they broke up before then, though. Yes.
I think they
probably like
2000, 2001.
99.
something early. But they're all on this compilation. You'll find it streaming. It's all there, and we are ready to go, I presume.
Yes, sir.
This is 2000's Crippled Lucifer.
Ooh. When they get to actual riffs, like what else?
Feels pretty riffy to me. I mean, this is a riff for them. Yeah.
Like that's like, is this an interesting riff to play in this?
It's super. It's the only thing that kind of makes it doom metal, or like we recognize it as like the same vibe as doom metal, where it's very Sabbathy.
Yes.
But everything else is all punishing sludge, extra evil, extra slow. Now that is a high voice.
You know you're indoctrinated into this band when you can start making the lyrics just sound crystal clear.
Wait, what?
Like if this sounds crystal clear, you're like, oh, this is what he's saying.
I don't hear a fucking word he's saying.
Oh,
I can't understand what he's saying at all.
I can for some reason.
Wow. I feel like at least half the people hearing this fucking hate this guy.
Oh,
I feel like he has that voice where you definitely hate it or you don't hate it.
those people are wrong. This is the cilantro of doom metal.
Yeah, it is. This isn't even the screechiest he'll get.
No,
Like in
no.
the second EP, he gets way screechier.
And then so
Oh, this riff fucking rips. This riff, I think, has been stuck in my head for a few days.
because it'd be easy to do like the Aussie voice there, but it's I don't know.
It feels more stoner metal.
Yeah.
Or stoner rock, whatever.
The way that where he sings his cleans. So this is, I mean, we might as well go them EP by EP or
Okay,
thing by thing,
Yeah.
because this compilation is split into 2 discs. Obviously, it doesn't matter when you're on streaming, but the first disc is the Towers EP,
Mm-hmm.
which came out obviously it was recorded 96. It wasn't released until 98, and that was produced by Steve Albini. At the very end of the first disc, you have where is the single? It was a split with Goat Snake. Yeah, split with Goat Snake, called The Bleeder.
Yes.
And I don't know who produced that one, but it's not too far off from the Albini sound. It sounds very good.
Yeah.
But the first EP, okay, holy fuck. I mean, good God almighty. This is really, really, really brutal. If anybody can hear. But it has... That was like them being fast, and that was like them being energetic and fast.
In a way, it's kind of the best opener
Yes.
because it only gets more punishing from there. So if you can stomach that, then you're ready to move on.
And boy, does it immediately get really unbearable. And I don't mean that in a negative. Well, if you don't like this music, then absolutely unbearable in a bad way. But unbearable in a good way for me. Country Doctor. It's the first of many songs over 10 minutes.
Yes.
And boy, does it take its time.
Yeah, I kind of have mixed feelings about that song. I think it's one of the like weaker, longer songs that they have.
I feel that way about a different song, and I feel it strongly.
Yeah.
I don't feel it so strongly about this one. I do like this one. There is literally nothing hooky or catchy about any of it.
No.
I mean, I could say that about the whole album. Pretty
Yeah.
much. Like there's
But
really,
specifically.
yeah, there is. Its job is just to beat you into the ground, and it does it very well. Too much of this will become a lot to handle, which is why if you're in the mood for it, just pop on one of the EPs or one of the discs. Like it really is a circumstantial, very context-based band.
You know what they do a lot, and I noticed it after, digesting all these songs, is a lot of the times, Country Doctor included, towards the end, they will actually do something different.
It fucking enrages me.
Because it's good.
It's always better than the rest of the song. I don't mean just a little better. I mean like so much better. And we had to sit through 8 fucking minutes to get there.
Just move that up and play
Swap
it a little more.
Play that one for 8 minutes and then do the other one for fucking 2 or 3. Christ. It doesn't. So the most offensive version of that, and it's my least favorite song on the entire album, and that's The Bleeder. That's the track from the Goat Snake split. Boy, do I fucking not like that song. Except around 8 minutes, 15 seconds, it turns into the best thing ever.
Yes, I agree. But I guess because there's only one album, I think that's my favorite song.
Really?
I totally agree with you though. When it does the more groovy,
it turns into this really almost quiet evil riff. It's very. I mean, the rest of the song is all sludgy and shit, but it goes in this really contained, almost minimal quiet thing, and then it builds on that and it gets louder and louder and louder, and then the song ends.
Because a lot of this is punishing, dun, 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 dun. And that one, you get the guitar with some harmonics here and there. So
that one, it does cool things. It has these chokes where it sounds like Edgy is literally choking in between them, acapella chokes. And then in between it, with his choking sounds is a lot of crazy feedback. It's very cool, arranged thing. The actual riffs they're playing are the most boring, ugly things ever, but they're also a lot of this can be, if you hear it too long, it'll be oh, that's just boring and ugly. But it makes you feel a certain way. It beats you up. It's fucking heavy. It's brutal. They play that one fucking riff for literally 8 minutes.
Yeah, they do.
And it's not that great to me. It's really not that.
I guess just on a compilation where it can feel hard to stand out amongst the other songs, that song just stands out a lot to me.
It did to me too, but in a bad way. Because at first it was this is more of the same, but it's brutal and it's crushing and has that really cool part at the end. So I was it's not bad. Listened to everything, went back, and then I was wait a minute. This one, all these riffs are ugly. Every riff on this entire album is ugly and mean and gross and hideous and uneasy. That one just felt the most boring. And boy, do they played a lot. How long is that song? 14 minutes? It might be shorter than that, but it is long.
Turn me down or pull up some websites.
Fuck no, it's not it. I closed the Wikipedia on it for some reason.
What a dumb.
Damn, so stupid. It's only 10 minutes. I was wrong. It's only 10 minutes.
There you go.
But boy, well, when 8 minutes and 15 seconds is the one riff, and then you get less than 2 minutes of a significantly better riff, it does leave me a little bit wanting. But the rest of the songs in the EP, I see how it's kind of sequenced. It makes more sense, the opener, Sacred Predictions, as well as the third track, Tower Place. They're the short songs at 7 and 5 minutes respectively, and they have more energy to them. They move more. There's more riff to them.
It's crazy how Tower Place just feels like a brisk walk.
It flies by. Flies by at 5 minutes.
The only song that flies by.
And literally the shortest song in the entire compilation. It's 5 minutes and 24 seconds. But it's there's a lot to grab onto in that song, and I really like Edgy's vocals there. There's a lot of character because he's mostly singing it straight, at least for the most part. It really does sound pretty unique and cool.
They do. I hesitate to even call it a guitar solo, but they do this solo part that lasts for 5 seconds. And again,
then back to 5 straight minutes of just.
I'm that solo is so weird. It'd be cool if it was peppered throughout the song.
Yeah. Well, there's something about these sludgy bands where it's no, do less. We're going to do less. Hit less things. We're going to hang on one note for a fucking cool minute and a half before the next note comes in.
Which can be harder.
It actually, I was in my car listening to this at one point, and for one of the slower tracks, it might have been Sea Hag, where I'm trying to like tap my foot along to it.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, I'm going too fast, just tapping my foot along to it. Cause it's like when it's that slow, it's really hard to understand time or musical time. Like, I mean, we said this in the past where it's, it's really hard to play super slow, but more specifically, super slow in time is really fucking tricky. Your body just wants to like fucking go already, go.
Yeah.
Even when you think you're going slow, you're not. And if you're playing live and you think you're going slow, you're not going slow at all. You're going fast. Like, it's so hard to go this slow.
And yeah, Sea Hag is 14 minutes.
It's the longest song in the entire thing, 14:20.
Somehow it is like, yeah, the slowest thing. I feel like that song is the most like, as the kids say, it's a vibe.
Yeah.
Where you kind of just let it wash over you and encompass you, and you start to notice like these kind of like buzzing sounds in the background, and you just slowly attempt to tap your foot or like bang your head.
Part of the riff is just the letting the note die on its own naturally, or whatever distortion effect is like slowly decaying, or of course the feedback. That's basically what you're in for. One long note with a bunch of intricacies in like the sonic quality of just whatever thing they hit. And then for Sea Hag, I mean, it happens a lot, but for Sea Hag, because it's so long, it just reminded me a lot of it's a lot of Dale drumming, where in the more sludgy Melvin stuff, you hit the one long note and it's ringing for an hour, and Dale's still he's not just hitting with the one note and keeping still. He's still doing a beat. He's still
notes in between.
The only thing moving is the drums. It's moving slowly, but it's still moving more than everything else.
Which is very tricky when you're the one constant and everyone else is kind of like looking at you to do the next thing.
Yeah. And it's funny when it's with a song like that, this definitely was the one I was trying to tap my foot to, because I remember like on the first EP, it's Jamie Sykes. I hear him trying to slow down in the middle of playing it. Like you hear where it would logically go, like tempo wise.
Yeah.
And you hear him going like just a little bit long, like hanging on it a little bit longer every time, every beat.
Not a machine.
Exactly. That's how it's like, fuck, you really hear the humanity in the drums. They're like trying to go this slow and this brutal. It's fucking weird.
And yeah, the sound of it is, very like it's punishing music, but it also does have that signature live Albini sound to it.
I crave it now with every metal album that I will hear from now on. Like, why wouldn't they all want this big live feel for such when you're playing heavy music? Why wouldn't they all do that?
Especially the slower, heavier stuff where things are ringing out. And
yeah, you want to hear the room.
Yeah, you want that space. So
I'm trying to think of, because the quintessential metal sound, you think of like this, you think of a lot of punch. You think of a lot of there's no it's almost like a Here we go. Here with a weird ass analogy, like a good burger, like a good fat burger. Like, remember that fucking that video, that dude reviewing Five Guys burgers?
Oh yeah,
the damn guy.
What? Yeah,
you want to fill the space.
Yeah.
Or there's a lot of there's no space. That's a metal album. A quintessential metal album is like it's filling up every. It's like you filled up a tub. It's nothing. There's nothing left. It's just full of things. It's full of crunch. It's full of drums. Everything's punchy. When really you want to hear the fucking room. You want to hear things ring out.
My friends used to joke that shitty metal bands, you gotta scoop those mids.
Yeah. It's so hearing this kind of thing just makes me want it with everything or everything heavy anyway. I fucking love Albini. Doesn't matter. I like that sound on pretty much anything. Probably super biased there, but the painting on the inner sleeve of the Towers EP, which is now the cover of the streaming version.
It's a better cover than the original one.
Significant. The original cover is very minimal.
Very of its time.
It's like a little squiggly on a black background. The artist who did it is good. So this is the original cover.
Okay.
If you're watching the video, you'll see it on the screen right now. Very minimal and minimal. Yeah. I like the artist who did this. He does some good stuff. But this right here is the version that is now streaming. That's like the version.
Yes, this thing for the I'm talking about the compilations now. This is cooler than the original compilation cover.
Oh, right. The original compilation cover. Yeah, it is cool, but
it doesn't feel like it fits the band.
Not at all.
Like you see this image and I don't know. It's so perfect. It's just like a
lonely, cold, scary death.
Yes.
But the original feels, honestly, it could pass off as a fucking hip hop album.
Yeah, it's it's metal because
the font.
And, there's some statued women there, but that feels more like of the times.
Yeah. Early 2000s written all over it.
Where like whatever the cover is now is like this feels timeless.
Yeah. So this cover, the good cover, that was done by Norwegian painter Theodore Kittelsen. I'm sure it's pronounced differently than that, but he also did Burzum's two of Burzum's records, and I will not even try to fucking pronounce them. They're in Norwegian, and they have lots of V's and Y's all over. But
two O's separated by one letter,
umlauts and shit. Yeah, exactly. Fucking. But yeah, those some of those Burzum covers, like, yeah, that fits exactly what it is. It's cold and creepy, and it's scary, and it's evil. Yeah, it's very fitting, but. Yeah, after this EP, Jamie Sykes left and was replaced by Brad, acronymed BRAD for some reason.
It's so weird. Their names are like hip hop names.
Yeah, Edgy 59, BRAD.
Or like, is this a new metal?
Spoiler alert, fucking Edgy does go on to release an album on Fred Durst's label or something.
Oh, probably some substance of Aftermath or Interscope or whatever.
Something. We'll get to it. But yeah, Brad, aka Brad Moen, which is his real name. But Sykes did go on to play in Danish Schecter of Angels of Light and Swans.
Never heard Nah, but I'm going to seek them out.
Yeah. So there's already some cool overlap and already losing members even this early on.
In one year's time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And since it's a short episode and it's technically one album, we might as well introduce the next EP.
Sure.
Since we're not really pulling timestamps because the songs are so... You're not going to get a whole lot from a timestamp. Yeah, this was recorded in 1997 and also released in 1998. This is Rift.Canyon.Dreams.
Definitely not Albini, but still sounds cool.
Rift.Canyon.Dreams is a really cool name for a metal EP as well.
Interesting syntax, too. Is that the right word? Where it's just separated by periods and no spaces? Yeah. Almost looks like code. Now I love Edgy. I think he sounds phenomenal on this EP.
Yes. I remember listening to the band Weed Eater one time with someone, and they were like, this dude sounds like Cancer if Cancer was a person.
Yeah.
And Edgy also falls into that same.
Yeah, it's like razors. It's like serrated. It's a serrated blade of a voice.
That's super interesting.
Yeah. This isn't depressing. This isn't evil. This is stoner rock.
It's still pretty.
But it's like compared to like the evil of everything else. This is like, oh, this is just Sabbathy.
Yeah, this song is like one of two songs where I feel like there's variety throughout it.
Yeah. Yeah, this riff borders on hard rock, obviously slowed down and more brutal, and now we're back to.
And then you just can't. You think you know when that.
Yeah.
Those crashes or the snares are gonna come, but you don't. Fuck.
That's great. It's so. This isn't even that. Like, this is pretty fast compared like to the next song.
Oh. Around 5 minutes in, it takes this really cool turn with some really eerie ringing guitar chords, which we didn't hear really any of that on the first EP or on the first disc. So this disc is this EP along with the last track from the Azva split, which is ironically titled Rift.Canyon.Dreams, but wasn't on the Rift.Canyon.Dreams EP. And this is my big beef with this EP. No, this compilation. Communion is not the version. Communion, the song on here, is not from the EP. It's from the split with Goat Snake.
Okay.
It's a re-recorded version. It's not the version from the EP. The only way to get, according to Tom, the only way to get the version from the EP is to spend a fucking $150 on the actual LP.
Oh shit.
Like, so it's not streaming at all. I don't know what the original sounds like. It's like a minute shorter, or maybe longer, or maybe more than that. So I have no idea why they opted for a compilation version instead of the original version, and why not both if you're gonna make it a cohesive discography CD.
A completionist, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what the deal with that is. That bothers me because I'm sure we can just look it up on YouTube, and I will later. But in terms of having it in the package, it seems odd to opt for a re-recorded version.
That is a little interesting, but I don't think it hurts it.
It's still quite good.
Yes, it is one of their. I don't want to use the term catchy, but I will.
It has riffs on here, way more riffs than the first EP.
Yeah, it's like some of the riffs, like if you took a Pantera record and you played it at half the speed.
Yeah, exactly. Put on a fucking 45 RPM or something.
Man, I feel like the beefiest thing on here is Stillborn.
Stillborn is fitting of the title. Jesus Christ, man.
It feels like that has the most like clean vocals on it. I may be wrong, but
Edgy goes very shrieky there, like really shrieky there. There's still a lot of him singing normal and singing clean, but he sounds, I don't know, he's still doing the same thing as the first EP, but like as you heard, it just sounds better somehow. I don't know why. I don't know what he's doing differently. It just sounds more confident. It sounds more brutal. What is it? I just like it way more than before.
You think that song's gonna end, but they just hit you with a bong rip and some atmospheric feedback.
It takes a lengthy break in the middle.
Let me tell you, this album is so punishing. I didn't even remember there's a bong rip on that song until...
Is it a literal bong rip?
Yeah.
I fucking didn't catch that at all.
Why would you when you're...
being pummeled to death in the middle of a 12-minute song?
I think I did it the right spot. Let me see. Let's take a little adventure here. I'm going to play it from here.
Okay. This still does rule.
People are like, didn't you just play this song? No, this is a different song.
Different song, I swear to God.
Oh,
Yep, that's a bong rip. That's a bong rip.
I never noticed that.
Nor did I.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to point it out. Like, if it took me like 10 years to notice.
There's a bong rip in the middle of the song. And they're not even asleep.
No. Yeah, again, like someone listened to sleep and was like, pussies, so I'll show you.
Fucking A, man.
This EP was apparently recorded by Aaron Evil. Tom notes here, he's like, could this be Aaron Turner using a pseudonym? He's got connections to the band, but he couldn't find a confirmation. I don't know who the fuck Aaron Evil is.
I feel like Turner is maybe, I don't know how old he is.
Old now, probably in his 40s or 50, or maybe pushing 50s now. Actually, you know what? Probably I have no idea. My sense of time has been fucked ever since I hit 25.
Yeah. Also, speaking of punishing bands, Sumac is. Whew.
That is a band even much for me who loves this extreme bullshit. Man, they are intense.
Yes.
Sumac is fucking brutal.
This episode's for Sumac fans.
Basically, I did enjoy them. I just haven't heard. I've only heard like one album, maybe more, but one for sure. Oh yeah. So, History of Hell. Well, I don't know. That one for some reason felt a lot better following Stillborn.
Yeah.
I mean, there's riffs here. Like this EP has more riffs.
I was gonna say that's the second song where I feel like it has variety.
Yeah,
on it.
Around 3 minutes 15, it speeds up a bit to very good effect. You can barely make out the riffs when it does that. It's like I've never heard anything this sludgy. You have no idea what's happening.
I didn't even know the song changed from Stillborn into History of Hell.
It is a wall of fuzz and noise. And the songs are so long. They just definitely bleed together a lot. And they don't exactly feel that differently. This is going to really exhaust most people. History of Hell is a bit on the brief side at 6 minutes.
I think that is one of my more like songs on disc 2.
100%. Same. Communion is good as well.
You know what I need to do? I need to listen to Rift.Canyon.Dreams just like on its own, divorced to everything else one day.
Yes, because that is my least favorite on this disc as well.
Even if you just do disc 2,
yeah.
By the time that comes on,
it's a lot.
Yeah.
So Rift.Canyon.Dreams is 13 minutes. And that is following an EP that's like 40 fucking minutes. How long is the actual EP? I'm going to do some quick math. 34 minutes.
34 minutes.
34 minutes. So basically a short album. And then you get Rift.Canyon.Dreams, which is 13 minutes. And like I still can't really tell if it's my least favorite song on like this whole chunk, or if it's just like you said, the fatigue and it's just all bleeding together. I think it's actually weaker. I do think it is weaker.
Okay.
There's a lot of Sabbathy style riffs, not unlike Communion, which also has some Sabbathy stuff, but way more lengthy, some insanely sludgy sections. It has my least favorite edgy performance. He's singing straight for most of it, or almost all of it, and I found it kind of funny. Like it's more silly sounding than anything. And then it's also 13 minutes. So if any part of it's kind of grinding your gears a little bit, and you multiply it by 13 minutes, oh boy.
Yeah. Sea Hag and Stillborn are probably the stronger, like
longer,
beefy tracks.
Yeah. If I had to choose, I'd probably go Stillborn, even though I probably like the first EP more just because of the whole vibe of the whole thing.
Yeah, Stillborn's got the bong rip though.
It's got the bong rip. But also, like I just like what they're doing more on the second EP. Even though I like the way the first EP is presented.
It feels a little more adventurous than the first one. And I'm just gonna refer to it as disc 2, even if it doesn't all land the same way that disc 1 does.
Yeah. It's like if disc 2 had Albini production, it would be I'd be probably obsessed with it.
Really?
That's like
really.
It fucking hits this primal part of you. If you're a metal fan, you you're very familiar with that part and what that activation that it kind of causes. Like I think about, where do normies get that from? Do they get that? I'm sure they get it from somewhere, but like it's from like wimpy bullshit in our eyes. Where do they get it from?
It's so
Drake.
It's so funny. This is probably like one of the like most nonsensical things I'll say on this podcast. Like, if I meet a fellow man, I don't care what your sexual orientation is. I don't care what your diet is. If you tell me you can't listen to metal, you're less of a man to me.
Can't or just don't like?
Both.
I think I completely understand not liking it, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
If you say like, oh no, like if I see you wince,
that is
the man card.
Yes, that is the only thing you can do where I'm like, you're less of a man.
I could see not enjoying it because of like, listen to this and enjoy it. I fucking dare you.
Hold on. This man is a little extreme. Really extreme. But if you hear like a Sabbath.
Sabbath, I wouldn't even count as metal. That's how accessible it is. It's
sure.
It's like,
let's say a Master of Puppets then.
Metallica is fair.
Yeah,
it's fair. If you can't handle Metallica, boy, I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
Pack your shit up and get the fuck out of here.
Pretty much. I mean, that's that as a fucking child. I mean, that's come on. But yeah, like
so yeah, that's like my worst trait, I guess.
I say worse shit daily, but like I wonder though, because this is what metal does for us. It's like you like, fuck yeah, dudes, fuck yeah, and you just want to like hit something and you just feel it, you want to move to it because it's just powerful. Because I think about like the other people and how they fucking get off to some just like Foo Fighters. I mean, I like the Foo Fighters, sure, but like to get off on the Foo Fighters, like brutally, like, well, it's funny. It's funny to me. Like, what is? I want to know these bands. I want to know everyone's thing like that.
That I already forgot what it's called. That song where they do the reggaeton beat.
Run for Your Life. Is it? I believe it's the opening track on Concrete and Gold or Golden Concrete, whatever.
Yeah. People probably lost their fucking mind.
It's a good song.
It's metal as fuck. With the reggaeton.
Yeah. Or you see like the dad boners, like the old guys who like listening to fucking Yes and they're like, fuck yeah, dude, fuck. Like, I love Yes, but I'm not gonna like punch someone over Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting because for me, most genres of music do something different for me. I get different feelings from it. So like I think other people's feelings are just it's a spectrum.
I would like to see like a scientific breakdown with like fucking actual graphs of human responses, like two different people having the exact same chemical response. One of them is Burning Witch and the other one is fucking Hanson or something, like the same exact emotion being elicited just from two insanely different. Like that's what I love about all this shit. It's like you should like it's the same sequence of notes. If you put on Burning Wish for someone, same sequence of notes, and they will vomit with disgust. And we're like, yeah, that's pretty cool, dude. Like that's why I fucking love this shit. It's like it's so extreme. Like you can have bizarrely different reactions. That's what makes it's not just subjective, because I mean, obviously art is subjective, but like for something to have that extreme of a response, I find very funny and fascinating.
As someone who lives in pain a lot, I don't know what I would be like without pain. And then to just
both, brother.
Yeah. So to have this audio equivalent where it's like kind of channeling that.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's something I'm in control of. And even though I'm not playing, but I'm participating by listening to it, and like, oh, this shit is like a a sunny day, walk in the park for me.
Yeah, like we're
Not really. There's still but
yeah, we're like, it's not. Oh, it's not quite the same as like when you're sad, you listen to sad music, but it's like, if you've always been depressed, sad music doesn't make you depressed. It kind of makes you happy.
Yeah, it's the Bane quote. You merely adapted the darkness. I was born into it.
Dude, fucking mic drop, end of the episode, see you later.
There we go.
Ending with a Bane quote.
Well, Spain, that's my name.
Hell yeah. So that was fucking fun. Yeah, this is a good one. This is a fucking cool ass band. It's fucking insanely crushing and brutal, and it's it's not for almost the entirety of people in the world.
Real quick, that scene where Bane's in the football stadium. Imagine he just made that whole football stadium listen to a burning witch.
It would have been less offensive than what he actually did in that movie.
Welcome, Gotham.
I'm sorry, more offensive. Damn, I ruined the joke.
You're under my control now. We'll be listening to Burning Witch. It's this like the cops trapped in the tunnel going insane.
Oh God, it's so heavy. Oh, it's so heavy. How can anybody like this? It's so noisy. Oh damn.
This is Gary Oldman turning into Sid Vicious by listening.
I never seen that movie.
It's been so long. Sorry.
Full tangent. Full digression. Thank you so much for listening and watching and hanging out. If you want to hang out with us further, leave comments, talk some shit, subscribe, leave a like, hang out with us. It's cool, especially if you're a fucking nerd about this kind of music. This is the place.
Let us know your favorite Southern Lord release.
Yeah, and make sure it's really abrasive and not for most people, just like this band. And if you hate us, go ahead and talk some shit. That's there for you as well. You can find me on all social media at Panda Monkey and Alex on Instagram at
Every Album Alex.
Hell yes. And please be sure to follow our history guy, Tom Osman, at Tom Osman Sounds on all social media, as well as TomOsmanSounds.com for all things music. He just put out, speaking of fucking brutal, insane music that's not for most people, put out a new record with Existent Non-Existent called Industrial State of Mind. Droney as fuck. Really, really brutal. Really good stories. Cool record. Also check out his Substack, tomosman.substack.com for all his writing on music, as well as a bunch of interviews and a bunch of cool stuff. And for the rest of everything, patreon.com/every album ever. There we got some bonus episodes. See our schedule in advance. Vote on polls to decide who we cover next. You can join our Discord, be a part of our communities, and that's where we pull out our suggestions for our EAE singles episodes. We get them all from Discord, so do that. And if you're tier 2, and you can suggest a big old full discography for us to cover on our main numbered episode. So do that, please, and thank you. My debut EP, Panda Monkey. Check that out too. It's cool. Link in the description. Final song. Are you gonna bless us with a 15-minute fucking crusher, or what's it gonna be?
Well, I did want to play Bleeder, but since you're lame, I'll go with History of Hell.
Hell yeah. Short and sweet, relatively. So thank you so much for listening and watching. See ya.